not that I don't want you here. It's something about the way you stare into mine.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Pamela if you're new here. Today I will be reviewing the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Liquid Foundation. I am going to try it on my acne prone skin. I also have combination skin, so half dry, half oily, and I want to see how good this lasts on the skin. It's going to be an honest review, so I wasn't paid for this video. It's non-sponsored, and I'm going to give you guys my honest, true first impressions. I'm also going to try out the Master Matte palette, which is the eyeshadow palette. You guys probably have seen it before. It's been out for a minute. I'm also going to try out the Self Sculpt Transforming Skin Perfector, which is like a bronzer slash highlight all in one. If you guys are excited to see what the hype is about with this foundation, and if it actually is that good, I will be doing a 10-hour wear test, so stick around to the end of this video to see how well this foundation lasts on my skin. But before we get started, make sure you guys like this video if you guys enjoy videos like this and want more of them, and also don't forget to subscribe down below if you're new to my channel. And without further ado, let's get started. So my skin is all prepped and ready to go. I just want to give you guys some key points on this foundation before we get started. So this is the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Liquid Foundation. This retails for $42 for 1 fluid ounce. It also comes in a pump like this, super clean packaging. So this foundation comes in 30 different shades, and this is the color 17N right here. So this liquid foundation is supposed to be breathable, luminous, with long-lasting coverage, while also illuminating your complexion. And I also have the Master Matte palette here. I just wanted to give this a try. I know this has been out for a while, but I wanted to give it a try along with his other products. This is the Master Matte palette. It retails for $50. It comes with 12 different matte shades. I'm also going to try out his Self Sculpt Transforming Skin Perfector at $30 for 6 different shades. And I have the color medium dark right here. So this is meant to just sculpt your face, give you some color, also highlight a little bit as well, all in one. It's been a while since I did a foundation review, and I kind of want to do it a little differently today. You guys know I have acne prone skin. My skin has been amazing for a while now. I really feel like I perfected my skincare routine. I'm not breaking out at all. I have one little pimple on the bottom of my chin, but that's about it. So we're gonna see if this foundation actually does its job and it doesn't make me break out, because that's the main thing I look for when looking for foundations. I'm also gonna try it with a sponge and with a brush. I like using both, so I'm gonna do one side of my face with the sponge and the other side with the brush. So I'm gonna bring you guys super up close, and we're gonna try out this foundation. So I wanted to bring you guys super close and just show you guys what my skin is looking like. It's super glowy right now because my skincare routine is just amazing. I'm just gonna do the sponge side first. I'm just going to pump this on the back of my hand. It's one pump, so it comes out pretty creamy. It's between a liquidy and creamy consistency. It's not like running down my skin or anything. Ooh, pretty thick. I would say it's very smooth. Like, the texture of this feels very like skincare. Wow. I don't know if you guys can see how easy that blends. Oh wow, that is actually so good. You don't have to even blend it that much to make it look good. It covered up a lot of my blemishes and dark spots. Definitely a little goes a long way, for sure. It looks so good. I think the color is pretty good as well. It's just a tad bit neutral for me, but I don't mind it. I feel like it blends better than the other foundations, like the other colors, because it was either too light or either too dark. So this one's pretty good for my skin tone. That's just one layer and my skin looks so good. Wow. You can barely see any of my dark spots peeking through. Usually when I try out different foundations, the first layer usually lets my dark spots peek through just a little bit, but this is really great coverage for just one pump. Also really looks like my skin, like you can't even tell I have it on my skin at all. It's not creasing, it's not clinging to any areas. I feel like it's very skin-like for sure. Put some on my forehead because I do have some psoriasis up here and right here. And it has a little bit of texture and dryness to it, so I want to see how well that looks. But definitely, so far so good. Usually the Beauty Blender takes away from the foundation, but I feel like this actually keeps the coverage. And my Beauty Blender is kind of like damp. It's not too wet, and then it's not too dry either. And look at that, you guys, wow. Like, that's really amazing. It just made my forehead look 10 times better. Okay. I'm loving this right now. So basically, at the top spot right here and right here, I usually have to put a concealer first and then put like a foundation on top of it, but this just canceled everything out just with like just a little bit of blending. You don't have to put too much foundation on, and it still looks amazing. It looks super glowy. It really blends into my skin, so like you can't even tell that I have makeup on really. But compared to this side of my face and this side, this is just one layer and it looks so good. Wow. I wish you guys can actually really see this. Like, look at that. Also going to do one more layer on this side just to see how it blends and builds, but then I'm going to compare it to the side with no foundation at all just to see how real it looks. Because I feel like when you do the whole face with one layer and then you add another layer, of course it's gonna look good, but I kind of just want to see how realistic your skin looks after 2 layers. So I'm just gonna add a little more, and I just did one more pump. Okay, so it's literally blending straight away into my skin. I think it's because it's so hydrating and very, very glowy. This kind of reminds me a mix of a foundation and a skin tint put together. It's very lightweight at like a skin tint, but it also gives you the coverage like a foundation, and I feel like it's such a great balance. I feel like it's actually skincare as well because it's actually making my skin feel so good, and I'm very, very glowy. I feel like that second layer just topped it off. It made it way more glowy than I would like, but obviously you guys know I started off with glowy skin. This is a great base if you want to do powders on top, but my skin doesn't feel oily or anything. It doesn't feel like it's super wet. It's just very healthy looking, and I just think it's because my skin was looking great right before I did this, and then adding this on top just topped it off pretty much. So this is 2 layers. I have a little bit of texture up here, but it doesn't look too bad at all. There's no dry areas, and it covered up my psoriasis perfectly. Like, I don't even have to add anything else on top, and normally I would. It really blended out my dark circles, and just the darkness under my eyes is very even now, and the darkness on my cheeks from my post acne marks are all covered, and you can't even tell I had acne marks at all. I just love how it's making my skin even, and I don't really have to do anything else like add concealer or anything. And comparing it to this side, which I do have more, obviously I have no makeup on this side, you guys can actually see how real my skin looks even with the foundation on. You guys can barely even see the line that I created between the two. And I'm very surprised that the sponge gives it such great coverage as well, because I love taking the sponge with me on the go and traveling and stuff like that. I don't really like using brushes too often because it does make me break out more often because I have acne prone skin. So I do like using a sponge, and so knowing that gives me great coverage without using a brush, I definitely think this is a great foundation so far. So now for the other side, I'm going to add it with a brush. This is an Il Makiage brush. I just like this one because it's kind of flexible. It also gives me good coverage. Look at that, you guys. Such great coverage. Just gonna blend this out in a tapping motion. So there's a brush that you can actually purchase with this foundation. I just didn't want to because I feel like I have so many brushes already that I already like. And I wanted to try out his other products, but I didn't want to spend like so much money. But I definitely do think that this blends in so well with a brush as well. Like you can't even see any streaks at all. I think it's because the foundation's so lightweight. It just blends so perfectly, and I definitely love how much it looks like my skin. So this is one layer with the brush. I honestly feel like it gave me the same amount of coverage as the sponge, because I can't even tell which side looks better. Obviously there's 2 layers on this side, only 1 layer on this side, but it looks pretty good, like pretty damn good. I don't have anything peeking through on this side as well. Even with the brush, I feel like it gives it the same amount of coverage. It doesn't give it any streaks or anything like that. So we're gonna add another layer really quick, see how well it builds. Alrighty, so this is 2 layers with the brush. It looks so good. I definitely do think though with the second layer it does come off a little bit streaky, just because I feel like it's just more coverage and more foundation, so it's going to just sit on the skin a little bit differently with a brush. It's not too bad, it's just something I noticed like super up close. I don't know if you guys can see little streaks up here and right here. It's not too bad though. It gives it such great coverage with just 1 layer, so I would just be happy using 1 layer as well. And I feel like it just works so well, especially if you're used to using skin tints like me or tinted moisturizers. I feel like if you're in that range right now of just using those for makeup, I feel like you'll definitely love this foundation, especially if you like the light coverage. It doesn't feel like you have makeup on type of look. So we'll see how well this lasts. This is super glowy for me right now, so I'm definitely gonna set this. So now I'm gonna go in with the Self Sculpt Transforming Skin Perfector. I just don't know about this white packaging because it gets dirty so easily. Like I already got mine dirty and it's kind of staining. It's kind of like a very soft powder, and it has like a hint of shimmer in it. I don't know if you guys can see. So this is the bronzer side. It has a little bit of shimmer. This is the highlight side, and obviously you can add both together and it looks super nice on the skin. I'm gonna take a Morphe brush. This is the M449 brush by Morphe. I'm just going to take this to sculpt out my cheekbones a little bit. So I actually haven't used a powder bronzer in a while. I usually use creams and I don't really set them, so this is actually looking really good. It definitely smoothed out my skin, and it's just a light tone, so I feel like it just warms up the skin. It's not meant to give you like a super chiseled look, just give you more definition than you would without it. And I'm just gonna add a little more just to see how well it builds. And how I like to apply it is I apply it right in the cheekbone, and then I kind of feather it up back and forth to blend it. Yeah, you can actually build this up pretty well. It's really pigmented. And if you ever feel like you put too much, just take a sponge right over it. Do one of those. Oh, that side looks really good actually. And this brush is like very precise, so you can be messy with it and it will look very blown out. First impressions of this, it definitely smooths out your skin for sure. A little goes a long way, so if you like the natural look, definitely don't use as much as I did. It actually just looks like my skin, honestly. Like, I don't really feel like I have a powder on top. And I feel like that's the point of this perfector. It's supposed to just give you some definition without making it seem like you have a lot going on your face. I'm gonna try it with an angled brush just to see if I get a better coverage or a better way to blend it. I feel like that other one was just way too dense. So since it is pretty pigmented, it just takes a little longer to blend out, but I don't mind it at all because my skin looks so good and so nice. I'm just going to do a little on my forehead to even it out. Okay, this looks really good on the forehead. It kind of reminds me of when you put translucent powder over your foundation and it looks super smooth. Just imagine that, but in your bronzer, and I feel like it works so well at smoothing out your skin. It's like kind of crazy. Usually I don't really like makeup on my forehead because it looks cakier, but this definitely, I definitely love this for sure. So now I'm going to go in with the lighter side, and I think you can just use this under your eyes and anywhere you want to highlight. So I'm just going to take a small brush like this because I don't want to add too much product. I just kind of want to see how well it sits on the skin. Ooh, definitely some highlight in this. But look how it just smooth out my forehead, giving it a little bit of highlight. So yeah, definitely this is a bronzer and highlight with translucent powder in it, pretty much. That's what it's giving for sure. So I'm just going to do this on the high points of my face. I might still add some concealer later on. I just kind of want to show you guys what this does to the skin. Super subtle, but also super nice, like very smooth. Yeah, it just gives you a slight glow, like a warm tone glow, but it's not overpowering, it's not too glittery. It's a pretty smoothing. So I feel like you can use this all over the face and it won't be too much at all. I'm loving this so far. I think this is a great product because it just keeps it super convenient, keeping both in the same packaging, and you can also mix them together and get it all over. Really nice complexion with this. Definitely if you want to lighten up your contour, you can actually just put the two colors together and go over it, and I think it will be super nice. I'm actually going to try that with this bigger brush here just to see very lightly. Yeah, definitely like giving very healthy. I'm loving this. So last but not least, I'm gonna go in with the Master Mattes. This is eyeshadow, very matte. super blendable. I heard it's a great palette just to have for every day. So I'm going to just put a little bit of this on my eyes just to see how well it works for you guys, and just because I want to see what the hype is about. Honestly, I think I'm going to take a little taper brush like this and go into my crease, and I usually like to do something like this, like kind of pink tone, neutral, and then we're just going to, ooh, that's pigmented, like very pigmented. Super buttery though, like very easy to apply. Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting that at all. I probably should have went in with a little lighter shade. So I'm just gonna go in with a fluffier brush and take maybe this shade right here and just blend out the edges. Just kind of get it all. And guys, I'm using Nova Beauty brushes right now, and they're amazing at blending. So if you guys need a brush that's really good but not too pricey, definitely check out Nova Beauty. Not sponsored, by the way. I just love using their brushes. I never would have thought like they had good brushes. So it definitely blends so easily. Like that took no effort at all. So I'm probably gonna go in again with the same color and just see how well. Probably gonna put music over this for you guys.
Are you on your way? Are you coming soon to me? No parking in LA, so I'ma send an Uber to your place. It's my secret safe, safe with just you and me. We can't leave a trace. This is my favorite mistake. Oh, look in my eyes. Can you find the lies? Do you feel alive? Look in my eyes. Do you mind the lies? Do you feel alive? Look in my eyes. We both know it's wrong, but you're still coming over. Even when you're gone, the feeling just grows stronger. She'll leave it alone, but you're still getting closer. We both know it's wrong, can't keep this for long. All that's going on, put it in a song. Are you on your way? Are you coming soon to me? I'm getting impatient. Oh, look at what you do to me. Our secret's safe, so you're my favorite mistake. That's why we gotta keep it on below. Got a hunger, she don't need to know what's going on. It won't be on for long. Oh, look in my eyes. Can you find the lies? Do you feel alive? Look in my eyes. Do you mind the lies? Do you feel alive? Look in my eyes.
Alright guys, so I just want to give you guys a close-up on my makeup after I beat it. I'm in also natural lighting, so you guys can actually see what it's looking like in natural light. It looks so smooth, you guys. Like, I can't even explain how my skin feels right now, but I feel like I don't have that much makeup on, even though my face is pretty beat. The eyeshadows blend so seamlessly, super buttery, super pigmented. I love the shades that come with it because I use every single shade for everyday use already, and since it's so pigmented you don't have to use a lot, so I know the palette will last you such a long time. I just love how well like my makeup looks and sits on my skin. It's not creasing at all, no texture. I don't feel like it's cakey. Since I set it, my skin is not super glowy, but it still looks very healthy, very radiant and moisturized, so you don't feel like you have to like reset it with setting spray or anything like that. It just looks super airbrushed. Like, I don't know if you guys can see some of the areas that I have texture, and it's not at all drying out any of the textured areas at all, so it looks even better than when I first put it on. So I think that this will probably last pretty well. So I do have combination skin right now. So I have acne prone, I also have oily in some areas and dry in some areas, just because like the weather right now is super crazy, super cold, windy right now, so my skin is just all over the place. But it's looking so good under this makeup right now, and I can't explain like how amazing this foundation is. Sculpting powder sits on the skin so well as well, so it looks like butter. It looks super smooth. It looks like your skin. It looks like it's hydrating your skin as well, because there's a little hint of like shimmer in there. It gives you a little highlight. Right now it's 2:26 in the afternoon, so I will be wearing this for quite some time. I'm gonna try to wear this for 10 hours. I love it so much. Oh my gosh, looks so good so far. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next update. Bye. Hi guys, welcome back to another update. So it's been about 10 hours since I had this foundation on. It is almost 1 a.m. right now. I feel like the foundation definitely lasted. It's just that it's basically getting super oily in my T-zone area, which is the normal areas that I get oily in normally. I only set under my eyes, so my eyes are not creased or anything. It still looks really good. Don't get me wrong, the makeup looks so good sitting on the skin even though that it's oily. I just think that if you want it to last a little longer, definitely set it all over, especially if you have oily skin. I feel like this would work best for dry skin because it definitely moisturizes and keeps your skin super glowy throughout the day. I didn't update you guys between now and the time that I applied it, only because nothing has really changed. It literally looked the same until about a few hours ago. I would say maybe when it hit like the 8-hour mark, that's when it started to get more noticeable as far as the oiliness goes. Sorry, my voice is so raspy right now because it's kind of late and I'm tired. I still love this foundation so much. I feel like it's so good to get that really natural look and really get a good coverage without putting too much makeup on or making it look like you have a lot of makeup on. I definitely feel like when you have dry skin, it's so good to keep it moisturized, especially in the winter time. And if you like putting on powders, I feel like foundations like this are so good. So I definitely feel like it held up. It made my skin look super healthy, and I definitely love it. I highly recommend that you guys at least give it a try to see if you guys like it, because I definitely am sold. I definitely love all the products, especially the sculpting bronzer. It lasts way longer because the foundation is a very dewy, and the powder just is so pigmented and it sticks right to it. So I definitely recommend it. I feel like it's such a great product to have. I don't have anything like it in my makeup routine right now, so I'm definitely going to keep wearing that. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little update, my overall review and first impressions of the Makeup by Mario Surreal foundation. Highly recommend it. Go give it a try. I'll have links down below if you guys are interested. This is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe down below if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.